Hey there, Steve Tullius, and I have a message that I have to share today that has been 15 years in the making. And so you might be wondering, what is this message that's taking you 15 years to share? And it hasn't taken 15 years, in terms of like I haven't been sharing this message, but I will say that this is going to be absolutely the strongest that I've ever shared this message. And it really comes back to a very, very personal experience for myself that I know a lot of you who have a message to share and want to get it out to the masses because you know that it could powerfully change so many lives. I know you're going to be able to relate to this. A lot of you will. And so it revolves around this experience I had 15 years ago when I was listening to the song Say What You Need to Say by John Mayer. Many of you, I'm sure, know the song and really enjoy it. It's a great song. And that song really resonated with me because I knew I had a powerful message to share, a message that could and does save and transform lives all the time. But I also knew that I wasn't sharing it in the way that was most powerful and effective and efficient. I knew that I was holding back. I knew there was things stopping me from sharing this life-saving message. And so I decided one evening, it was late, maybe around 11 o'clock or so, where I was going to make a video because I hadn't found my voice yet. There was lots of fears. There was, as I've shared before, I had a fear of public speaking, and I didn't understand like levels of what I now understand were degrees of social anxiety and not feeling comfortable in my own skin and feeling the eyes on me when I was speaking, all this different stuff, which I'm going to go into more later on how to overcome those things. But I knew I had this message to share. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it through creative form, a different creative form, right? And so I encourage any of you who have some intense fears around getting your message out, start to explore other ways versus only using your audible voice, right? There's a lot of different ways. I did a lot of blogging. I did a lot of writing. I started to create a video. And this video is on YouTube. You can find it if you look up "Say What You Need to Say," chiropractic, and you'll find this video that I made. And it encapsulates everything that I wanted to say out loud, but I didn't know how to do effectively yet. And as I reflect back and look at what was stopping me, I've identified the core things that was stopping me so that I can share them with you and a process to accelerate your ability to get your message out there, to amplify your voice, and to impact as many lives as possible. So this is what I found, in that process of creating this video, and it took me hours. I slaved over this because I wanted to make sure the message was clear, right? That's, number one, does it make sense? Is it simple, right? These are things that are essential for you to own a message and to be able to get it out to as many people as possible, right? And so, Albert Einstein is attributed with saying, if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough. And that really is true. And it's one of the biggest mistakes and common mistakes I see of a lot of public speakers is that they're experts in a certain field and they have this expert specialized knowledge, and they attempt to share that, but they do so in a way that is at a level of an expert, right? And not the level of their audience. And their audience is not an expert. The audience, they are not experts in that topic. That's why they're coming to you, right? And they don't want to be experts in that topic. All they want are their problems solved, right? We really have to embrace that and understand that the people that we serve, they really just want their problems solved. And the more problems you can solve in their lives and the bigger the problems, the more valuable you're going to be in their lives, right? And so we want to make sure that we're making it simple. So I would encourage you to, if you're, to number one, what do you have to say? What is this message that you have to share? I believe everyone has a message to share. We all have value. We all have something we can share. What is your message? Is it clear? Does it make sense? Is it simple? Right? The next thing to ask yourself is, does it have the power to transform the health, quality of life, future of the people you're out there looking to help, right? Can it save lives? Does it save lives? And you might be in a field where you thought, oh, my message doesn't save lives. Well, maybe it does if you go down far enough down the chain, right? If you're a health coach, for instance, and obviously that one you can really save a lot of lives if you help people transform their eating habits, their lifestyle, these different things, exercise. Obviously that can save lives. But what if you're, I don't know, say a financial planner? And does that save lives? Well, yeah, if you if you help someone save and create security and stability, and it helps them never go bankrupt, and what happens when people go bankrupt? What happens when families get divided? People get depressed, people kill themselves, right? So ask yourself, how does my message massively transform and or save lives, right? Because you need to really if you're going to share a message powerfully, you have to believe it. And that's the next most important question to ask yourself, and probably the most important at all in this process is, do you believe it? Do you believe that message that you're sharing on both a conscious level and a subconscious level, right? Do you believe this message? Do you believe that what you're sharing has the potential to transform and save lives? And is there any part of you that doesn't believe it? Right? Is there any part of you, being raw and authentic with yourself, is there any part of you that doesn't believe it? Because there's a good chance that there's something inside of you that doesn't fully believe a part of the message. Or if you have, say, financial, mindset issues, you believe that money is the root of all evil, or there's some message that was taught to you as a child. If it's still there, if some of those limiting beliefs are there, then even though you believe that this message is powerful and has the power to transform lives, those limiting beliefs are going to sabotage and interfere with your certainty and confidence and how you express this message, right, to the world, right? So and then the most important thing from there is, how can I slay those limiting beliefs? How can I get over those? So I encourage you to go through this process. It takes time. That night I was up till probably 4 a.m. Obsessing over this message for the reason of wanting to get this message out that I knew could transform lives, and thinking, in that moment, thinking that this is the only way I could do so. But the process of it was what was the catapult to allow me to realize that, wait, I can find the courage and the mentors and the people in my life who can help me overcome those blocks, so that I can share this much more effectively and more powerfully, right? That video on YouTube, I just watched it today. It's had, what was it? It was like, 2,000 views, right? In a 15-year period. And now I didn't promote it or anything like that, but my point is, using your voice, using your audible voice, doing workshops, webinars, podcasts, whatever it is, whatever your medium, you have the ability now in this age to get your message out to the masses. And the only reason that you're not is because you haven't taken on full ownership and gone through this and really dived into what's stopping you. What's stopping you? If you have this message that's so powerful, that has the power to transform and save lives, why are you not so busy that you have nothing else to do besides that thing, right? And either sharing that thing or doing that thing, right? You should be so busy if you're sharing your message that powerfully, that effectively, right? And realize that in me sharing this, I've come to, I told you it took me 15 years to get here. And that's because while I conquered that and I did that thing in my professional practice, I realized just this year, in the last few months, that I have had some of the limiting beliefs that I had before. I had them in this new role as a coach, as a mentor, teaching people how to powerfully use their voices and how to put on workshops and create the logical and emotional certainty that people need to say yes to whatever it is that you do. I realized that there was parts of me that wasn't saying what I need to say around that, right? That, because I know now that I have a moral obligation to share this message in a way more powerful way and get the roadblocks out at different places in my life, in my business, so that I can help as many people as possible, make as much money as possible, so I can give back, so I can do all these things, right? And so, if you resonate with this today, if you're finding yourself in in some of those areas where you haven't gone through that process, go through that process, ask yourself those questions, write it down, go through your process so that you can have absolute clarity around why you have to say what you need to say. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I look forward to our next video. All right, take care. Bye.